Hey guys, and welcome back to Fringe Friday. I am Carmen, and today we are watching Season 3, Episode 1 of Fringe. I am not at all ready for whatever is going to happen in this season. I know that you guys have told me in the comments many times that I remember this, that seasons 3 and 4 are kind of like ultimate prime Fringe. And so I'm ready slash not ready because I have already completely and utterly adored seasons 1 and 2. So I can't imagine loving the show more, but apparently it might happen. I mean, we'll see. Where we left off, oh boy. William Bell sacrificed himself for Walter and Peter. I'm not gonna cry. This is the intro. Our girl Olivia is trapped in the alternate dimension with Walternate. He has her in like a little padded cage. It's honestly completely heartbreaking, and I don't know where it's gonna go, although I am excited to see hopefully the different worlds and to be immersed in both of them and really get to sort of delve headfirst into the differences and similarities between the two. I'm interested to see how other Olivia is going to interact with Peter and Walter and Astrid and Ella and her sister and everybody. Like, that's going to be interesting if we get to see our Olivia interact with Walternate and Charlie and Lincoln and all those people. That will be interesting as well. Yeah, I am completely and totally rambling, but I'm excited to see what this season brings, and also terrified because of everything that has happened before. Anyway, without any further ado by me, let's just get right into this episode.
Agent Dunham, I'm trying to help you get your life back so that you can go home.
This is not my home.
Because you come from another universe.
Yes.
Okay, so this is our Olivia, right?
Olivia,
In the alternate universe.
given the nature of your job, the upsetting events you come in contact with on a regular basis, coupled with the injury to your head, your mind has created this fantasy.
Are they trying to gaslight her?
This is not a fantasy.
They're trying to make her think that where she comes from isn't real?
Is this your mother?
Not
She
exactly.
looks like her, but it isn't her.
Curious if she believes what she's saying or if like she knows the truth and is just trying to be involved in gaslighting her.
And how does that sound to you, Olivia? That there's a world beyond this world, populated with people who look exactly like the people here.
I mean, it sounds like the truth.
But as insane as it sounds, it's the truth.
Who's Peter? When you were under anesthesia, you mumbled the name Peter. Is he one of your friends?
Peter is my colleague. A civilian consultant.
He's more than that.
And where are they now? Peter and your friends.
I don't know, but I assume they had to go home without me.
She doesn't know they replaced her.
I am not crazy.
She's not.
That is not my mother. My mother died when I was 14. The Charlie Francis that I knew was murdered. I have never won an Olympic medal for marksmanship. None of these are me. This is not my life.
She's right.
I think I'm trying to convince you you're someone you're not.
Yes,
Why would I do that?
because you're part of it.
Treatments are not working.
Well, that's not such a surprise. We always knew that transferring
that
memories
guy.
was a long shot at best.
Yeah, massive dynamic guy.
You and I know something, that many lives and many more dollars have been spent to keep secret, that we are at war with another universe, populated by creatures who have damaged the very fabric of reality. All around us, our world is under attack.
Yeah.
Somehow this girl came here. Somehow she is equipped to move through universes. We need her to help us understand this skill. Because if we can do it, we can win this war.
Okay. So the doctor does believe what she's saying. She doesn't know the truth. I wonder if she could just pretend long enough to, like, be set free, you know? She watched you put that code in, dude.
Please don't do this again.
I don't think they have a choice, really. Ah! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They did it 8 times before? I think that's what I counted. At least on that arm.
I can't breathe.
Unstrap her. Sit her up.
Go, Olivia, damn. Damn. I don't know if she has anywhere to go, though. There's probably like a fence around it or something, right? I like how it's red now because, like it was for the past 2 episodes, because we're in a different place.
I'm gonna need you to show me. You know I can't put this cab in the drive without your ID.
What's your name?
Henry?
Okay. Listen, Henry, what I need you to do right now is I need you to drive.
Where do you think she'll go? Her apartment?
I've been held against my will, and I'm being pursued by a division of the government. They've done experiments on me. They're trying to convince me that I'm someone that I'm not.
He's like, okay.
I don't know what you're doing, but the last thing I need now is any kind of trouble.
You're not in any trouble, Henry, as long as you do exactly as I say.
She's so badass.
If you alert anyone, Henry, I assure you, trouble will find you.
Girl. Daily flights to the moon. Glider flug.
How much longer are they gonna keep her there?
You know, Olivia, she's strong, but they're saying she had a complete psychotic break.
That's what they're saying.
3 days ago, I was eating a bowl of chocolate ice cream. I was watching Tom Cruise kick some ass on TV. Thought life's pretty good. Now all of this.
I'm afraid it's just gotten worse.
3 days ago? It's only been 3 days?
Last night, Agent Dunham escaped from the facility on Liberty Island.
She sure as hell did.
Nice ink. What's it mean?
What?
Tattoo on the back of your neck.
They gave her a tattoo? They put the tattoo there to fuck with her.
Must have done it to me. She must have one. The other one must have a tattoo.
Yeah.
Girl, they're trying to make you believe you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. I agree.
Don't placate me because you think that I'm
Crazy? What would you think if I jacked your cab in a hospital gown with a gun, screaming a conspiracy, telling you I'm being chased by the government, and folks are trying to make me believe I'm a tattooed version of myself?
Look, I know I sound insane.
A little bit.
Well, I'm not insane. I'm not who they say I am.
She's right. What?
Okay.
He saw like an honesty in her eyes, maybe. So he's like, or he's trying to placate still.
Where you going?
To get my clothes? If Olivia's in trouble, I'm not sitting here.
I thought you had to go back to the hyperbaric chamber.
I can be out for 8 hours at a time. I got 6 hours left today.
I mean,
Get my nanite wraps.
good for you, dude. Like, huh? What's going on there? Release the Amber. That's the people in quarantine, right?
If I'm not back in 15 minutes, you can leave.
What, the Opera House? That's where your home is?
No, but that's how I got here, and that's how I'm gonna get back there.
What's stopping me from leaving now?
Henry Arliss Higgins, 3248 Hastings Avenue, apartment 3. ID number 100225. Your inoculations are up to date except for your typhus, which is 17 days overdue.
Did they quarantine the opera house?
Agent Dunham, sorry, I didn't recognize him. I wasn't aware that the Fringe division was overseeing this. So is it true what they say about this place? People have disappeared into thin air inside?
Yep.
If you'll excuse me, I'm just
Yeah, no, we should step back.
I'll only be a minute.
There's no time for that.
Yeah. Yep. They're quarantining it off so that she can't go back.
So? What now?
I don't know yet. Can you just keep driving?
I think that she's gonna play along, right? At some point. Like, she might have to just play along in order to bid herself time.
What's her name?
Jasmine? Unless I'm in the doghouse, then she's Honey. So most of the time it's Honey. What about you? You got someone?
Kinda.
Sort of.
It's an odd name. Sort of.
His name is Peter. He's sort of the reason I'm here. Can you take me to 655 18th Street? Just off 10th Avenue.
What's there?
It's a company called Massive Dynamic.
I never heard of it.
They make technology that could get me home. If I'm right, there's a lady who works there who may be able to...
Nina Sharp? But there's no Master Dynamics, so where would Nina Sharp be?
Remember.
Yeah, I know. You got my number. Jedi mind trick.
So Star Wars is still a thing. Girl.
Hey, Liv. Thank God we found you.
Oh God, oh God, oh God.
I know I'm not quite my handsome self, but a hello would be nice. I know about the shootout at the Orpheum. I know you took a blow to your head.
Would you come any closer?
Liv, I'm going through it myself. Believe me, I know that the treatment can feel worse than the disease, but they're just trying to fix you. We all just want to help you get better.
Take your gun out and put it on the ground.
Been your partner for 2 years.
Put your gun on the ground.
Yep. Do it, Lincoln.
This isn't necessary.
Kick it over here.
What do you think I'm gonna do?
I don't know. I don't know you. Whatever they told you, I am not who you think I am.
Can't just keep running.
Get in the car! Get in the car!
Damn.
You're a hell of a shot.
No, actually, I'm not.
Well, you could have fooled me.
It's because they put the memories in her brain and they're trying to trick her, and now she's like starting to second guess herself because of that.
You know what I'm thinking?
That there's only one person at Fringe Division who can make a shot like that.
They better not frickin' Olivia, hold fast to your beliefs. Realize that what they did to you did that.
18th Street, 10th Avenue. That's what you said.
Oh, no.
What?
Well, it's not here. They must never have built it.
They didn't build it because William Bell died young in this world.
I'm stuck here.
Maybe not forever though, right?
Shadow Grove Circle. 302 Shadow Grove Circle. It's in Terrytown. It's a safe house. Walter must have told me about it. I don't know why I forgot.
He obviously means a lot to you.
Peter.
The guy you mentioned. Why you say you came here?
Frank? Yeah.
Thought you said his name was Peter.
Yeah. Peter.
It's working. I don't want her to lose who she is.
Marilyn is back in town.
I thought she was in France.
She came home when she heard what happened.
It's her mom's house. That's what she was remembering.
I can wait for you. if you like.
No, you go home to your family.
You gonna be okay?
I don't know.
I'm not crazy, you know. To prove that to you, I'd have to tell you some things that were even crazier.
A few years ago, I was in a bad way. Couldn't pull myself out. Inside, I knew I was somebody else. There's only one other person who believes that, Jasmine. She saw the man I knew I was.
I like Henry.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta believe in what you can't see.
Yep.
Olive?
Yep.
Mom?
I just don't want her to, like, actually fall into it and believe.
I know what happened. They told me about your breakdown. I came home as soon as I heard. I tried to see you, but they wouldn't let me.
Come on, Olivia.
I'm not your daughter. My mother died when I was 14 years old. This is all wrong. It was going to be my way
This
home.
is your home.
No,
This
my
is your
home is in Jacksonville, Florida. I was
moved up
brought
here
up
3
from an
years ago.
army
You
base.
helped
I've
me
never
move
been
in.
here before.
If you'd never been here, how did you know to come here?
Because they... Think about the fact that they injected you. Think about it. Come on, Olivia. Come on.
I helped you paint, didn't I?
Yeah. You picked the colors. I wanted blue, but you convinced me to use...
Yellow. Because it was more cheerful.
This is your home. This is your safe house.
Please don't believe it. Please don't believe it. Please don't believe it. God, please don't believe it. Please don't believe it. Like, you can pretend to believe it, but please don't believe it.
Hey.
I'm stressed.
It appears that your treatments have taken effect after all.
It was the adrenaline from her escape. The adrenaline triggered our Olivia's memory B lymphocytes, which means for all intents and purposes, she is our Olivia now.
No. Better. No, no. Is Henry gonna be like coming in clutch? No. Henry.
Thank you for not shooting me.
Oh.
I can't enjoy any of this. Okay, now this is our world.
He never had any intention to fix the other side. He wanted me to help him destroy ours.
Yep. He said ours.
I just have one more question. You said when you learned Walton was lying to you, your first thought was anger, that you wanted to put a stop to his agenda.
Uh-huh.
But you could have done that by staying there. Why'd you come back?
Olivia. Duh.
How was it?
It's endless. But it's over now. So we can get on with our lives.
Great. How about we start with dinner?
And the whole time I was in there, there's only one thing I could think about.
Yeah? What?
I hate it.
That.
I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
Let's go. I'm sure tomorrow will bring the usual insanity.
I hate it so much. Why are they gonna end like that? That's very upsetting to me. Okay, so I got a little bit emotional at the end of the episode because it's so heartbreaking to see our Olivia, who we know and love and have grown really attached to these past 2 seasons, to be struggling so hard and to just be really dealing with a lot of trauma and emotional just damage of what being left behind in the other world is doing to her. And then at the same time to see the other Olivia happy and smiling and kissing Peter when that should be our Olivia. And it's also like a little disturbing because Peter doesn't know that that's not our Olivia, and it really complicates things and muddies the water because there's the whole consent issue, which is worth mentioning, you know, because he's consenting to doing these things with Olivia under the false pretense that it's our Olivia when it's not. And so, you know, that definitely needs to be addressed. And then there's the fact that when, and I have to assume it's when, he discovers that it's not our Olivia, it's going to complicate the relationship between Peter and Olivia, because he's going to have memories of a relationship with Olivia that isn't with our Olivia, right? It's a different relationship with a different person, but it's going to be confusing in his brain because he thinks that it is our Olivia, and that's just, you know, it's deeply upsetting on a lot of levels. And I definitely think that the consent issue is, it's very upsetting to me. It's a little worrying because they've kissed so far, which is, I mean, that we've seen. If they do anything else, it's very problematic, okay? Anyway, it was a very somber start to the season, at least I think so. Like, it's very interesting. Don't get me wrong. I'm super interested in seeing Olivia interact with Lincoln and Charlie and this Broyles and this Walternate and that guy from Massive Dynamic. And I really loved all the scenes with Henry. But it's very much like, I don't know. It's just very sad to me because Olivia is struggling so hard to hold on to herself in this world, and they've not only taken her and kidnapped her and are holding her hostage in a world that isn't hers, but they are taking away who she is as well, which is even more disturbing and horrifying. You know, they won't even allow her to exist as her. And that's just really upsetting. I, of course, am hopeful that Olivia is able to retain some of herself and that there will be a part of her that keeps fighting because it understands that this isn't her world, and that part of her that knows that will keep fighting to come to the surface and to exist, right? I hoped that she would maybe play along and not actually believe that this is her and lose who she actually is. So we'll have to see how that plays out throughout the season with her boyfriend guy, Frank, I think is his name. I'm curious and worried again with consent in that area, because they're making her think that she's this person, but she's not. And again, Frank, like Peter, doesn't know that that's not his Olivia. And so there's a lot of murky consent areas in this, and I think coming up in this, that I definitely think deserve to be acknowledged and talked about, because, I mean, I think it should be obvious why it deserves to be acknowledged and talked about. But yeah, I really enjoyed Olivia's interactions with the cabbie Henry. I really like that guy. He is incredibly familiar to me. Let me look him up really quick and see if I can figure out where I know him from. Okay, he's been a guest star on a lot of things that I've seen, so that's probably where I recognize him from. Anyway, I really liked their interactions, and I like that at the end he sort of, at least a little bit, believed Olivia and kind of told her, like, just because nobody else believes something but you doesn't mean that it's not real, and you have to cling on to that belief until you make it real for everyone around you, right? I don't know if he's a one-off character. I don't know if we'll ever see him again, but I wouldn't mind seeing him, because I think that it would be really cool to see, maybe Olivia sees him and she like gets a jog of her memory back and realizes who she is. I don't know, you guys. I kind of struggled to accept or to enjoy some of the moments in the episode, and I don't know if that's and if it's intentional that they know that you're not going to enjoy that moment. I don't know. I'm trying to enjoy the process of the storytelling, right? Because I think it's a really interesting story and a premise for the start of this new season. But I just, regardless of the premise, there's certain things that I need to happen in order for me to enjoy it. And I need Olivia to, in some part, hold on to who she is and fight to get that person back, right? I'm okay with her pretending to think that she's this other Olivia. I just don't want her to be so overtaken by these memories that they gave her that she forgets who she is completely. Because, I don't know, like, we have this Olivia, right? I don't know how much we're going to be going back and forth between the worlds. If, like, the next episode is going to be this Olivia pretending to be our Olivia. But we have both versions of Olivia, and I really need for our version to stay our version and the other version to stay the other version in order for me to enjoy the story. Like, I know they can both be pretending to be the other version, but I need them both to know fully who they are, if that makes any sense. Because I love our Olivia, and we've been through so much with her. I need her to know what she's been through and to know who she is. And same for the other Olivia, who I really like, but who is not our Olivia. And I fucking need for Peter to know that, you know? Like, I'm struggling, you guys. Yeah. I didn't think that Olivia would get back to our world in this episode. I didn't think that it would be that easy. I think that would cheapen the story, and it would cheapen the impact of what happened at the end of the season for her to immediately be able to get back to our world. I like watching stories unfold. I like the narrative arc being explored. I like all of that. I'm not impatient and like can't allow a story to unfold. I don't want that to be the impression that I'm giving in this episode. I just need Olivia to be Olivia in this other world. I'm okay with the storyline playing out. I'm okay with all of that. Just for my own peace of mind, I just need that. And I need for Peter to slowly start to understand. He doesn't have to understand immediately, but I need him to like start getting hints and bits and pieces of this Olivia acting different, and him piecing it together that it's not our Olivia. I mean, he figured out what Walter did all on his own. He didn't remember it. He didn't have anybody tell him. He figured it out because he's a smart, intelligent character. And even though I wanted Walter to tell him because I thought that would, lessen the impact of the blow, I love that Peter's the one who figured it out. I love that he was able to put the pieces together and discover for himself the truth of his past. That being said, that I need that Peter. I need that smart, intelligent, intuitive, understanding character to look at Olivia, see these pieces that aren't fitting fully, right? Like, even if it's just like this much, I don't know if you can see that, but like, even if like the pieces, let's say, like this would be like perfect, right? If it's just like that, I don't know if you can see that, but like, excuse me, oh my God. I need him to see that tiny crack, that chink in the armor, that tiny moment of indecision or hesitation, and to be like, you know what I mean? Walter seeing it would also be nice, but I don't know. Honestly, in my dream, I would like for Charlie and Lincoln and Frank and Broyles of the other world to also understand that this isn't their Olivia, you know? Because I think that they would be upset that their Olivia is not there too. I mean, Broyles knows, right? But I need the people who don't know to like understand that this isn't their Olivia and to, I don't know, fight to get their girl back. I don't know exactly what I want from the story going forward. I know that the things that I've told you would be nice, would be ideal, honestly. I do think that it's a really interesting premise for a story. I stress and I worry and I want the characters that we love and root for. I want to be able to love and root for them. And yeah, all of this being said, according to Charlie at one point, I think it was Charlie. Maybe it was Lincoln. Maybe it was Lincoln. According to one of them, at some point, it's only been like 3 days, right? So it's definitely not been a long enough time for chinks in the armor to appear, for characters to know fully that that's not who that person is. I think as time goes on and the story unfolds and days turn into weeks, turn into months, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But I think that those moments will become more and the characters will see the truth of what's happening, right? I don't know. I don't want it to seem like I did not like this episode. I did like the episode. I really think that it's an interesting start to the season and start to whatever's going to happen now. I just stress and worry about our Olivia, and I need her to stay our Olivia. And they just gave us Olivia and Peter, and so to like give it to us and then take it away and then kind of give it to us in a weird way that it's like it's a no from me is stressful to me. You know, I don't know. I am very excited to see where this goes. I think that the story is cool and unique and fun, and there's a lot that they can do with it. So I'm curious as to what they will do with it. Also, random side note, is this Astrid an android? Like, I'm getting like Data from Star Trek vibes. I'm getting like, you know, I don't know, just not fully human vibes from her. So curious about that for sure. I really do want to see Olivia and Lincoln interact. I want to see Olivia and Charlie interact. Of course, again, I just think it's more interesting if she knows that she's our Olivia and she's interacting with them, right? Versus her thinking she's the other Olivia and interacting with them. So, yeah. I'm curious to see more of this other Olivia interacting with Walter and Peter as well, to see her interacting with her niece, and her sister, and all of that. Like, I'm really interested in all the interactions that this season is going to give us and the way that it's going to play out. I'm super interested in it. So, yeah. Am I rambling? I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. Is there anything else I had to say? It is interesting to me that they have been trying to brainwash her based off of the marks in her arm. I counted 8 times, but it could have been more, could have been less, could have been in both arms. So, you know, but I love that our Olivia is so strong and her mind is so strong that it took that amount of attempted brainwashing to even get close to brainwashing her, you know. I also wrote down numbers in this episode. It said 3301 on the back of Lincoln's jacket. The license plate for Henry's cab was 7X14. Yeah. So just, I don't know if either of those things have any relevance to anything at all. But I'm writing it down. I'm going to try to remember it. We're going to see what's going on there. So, yeah. Anyway, you guys, I think that I am done. I'm done. As always, thank you so much for watching if you did. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening to my endless rambling about this show. I really appreciate it. And leave a comment saying cherry, I guess, if you made it this far. Don't know why. That's the first thing that popped into my head. Anyway, if you guys want to watch the next episode, you can right now over on Patreon, which is linked in the description down below, as well as my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every episode thus far of Fringe. I am going to watch the next episode. So I will see you guys very soon for episode 2. Until then, bye guys!